3 weeks ago, I decided that enough was enough and I finally tore out the ugliest f***ing tiles in this house, which then left a massive hole that I had to cover up. After emotionally recovering from that, I have decided this week to pick up where I left off and cause some more damage.
So we are back at it again with the fireplace. Hi, Reggie. So today, hi, Kirby. Both of you? Okay. So today we are going to be working on this whole fireplace situation. So a couple of you guys were asking me if I was going to be tiling this and if so, what I had chosen. And the answer is no, I am not going to be retiling this. Instead, what I decided to do is I'm going to brick it instead. I wanted a little bit more of a traditional, sort of cottagey look. So I thought that bricking it would be the best option, except I'm not going to be doing it the easy DIY friendly way that you probably see all over the internet because it's really expensive to do. So instead we're gonna be doing something totally different. So the whole DIY friendly method would be to get brick veneer, which you can buy online, or I think you can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. And basically it's just really, really thin brick that's on mesh. It's got several pieces on it and you mortar it and then you just press it on, and it's pretty easy to do because you can just cut the edges off with a wet saw, no problem. The only issue with that method is the fact that it is extraordinarily expensive. And so in all of those DIY friendly videos that you see, they really don't touch on how pricey it actually is to purchase brick veneer. So instead, I got actual bricks. Now, I got real bricks for 2 reasons. Number 1, the cost. But number 2, because my firebox sticks out so far that if my brick veneer went here, it would still stick out over the bricks. And I feel like that would just look stupid. That was honestly one of the many things that annoyed me about the tile that was there in the first place, was the fact that the firebox stuck out further from it. So there's so much more stuff that I want to tell you guys, but first I have to seal the joints between the cement board so it's all one structurally sound piece. So I'm gonna go mix up for that and then we'll get into it. So this is thin set. Now I'm gonna move all of this stuff out of the way in case I get anything on it. Now this stuff is in its volatile stage, very toxic. So I'm going to be applying the dry thin set to a bucket. I'm gonna be wearing a respirator and some gloves. Now, I'm doing a small batch of this since I don't need a whole lot of it. So I don't know, maybe that much, maybe a little bit more. I forgot I gotta go get some water. I've never mixed mortar before, but I have made plenty of cakes. And the internet says that the consistency of this is supposed to kind of be like frosting or cake batter. Okay, so this oh! I'm supposed to do very little at a time. I may have just added way too much. I think I did. It says online that with the consistency, I should be able to put this on here. It also says it should be able to hold the ridges if I go like this. So now it just has to sit for 10 minutes while the chemical process or chemical reaction is happening, and it turns it basically into a workable glue. All right, so while that is sitting and turning into whatever it turns into after the chemical reaction, I am going to start taping down these joints. Where does this tape start? Oh, right there. Okay, cool, good talk. I went on Facebook Marketplace. So I basically wound up with about 70 bricks or so for $10. So then I was like, yeah, total steal right there. We're saving tons of money already rather than getting that brick veneer that I found online. But then that quickly turned into an issue because I needed to buy a wet saw regardless because I'm going to be tiling the kitchen and the bathroom later. And that's when I started researching online and I was like, what wet saw is gonna be great for cutting my brick? And it turns out that those little cheapo wet saws do not cut brick. So then I was like, well, that sucks. What kind of wet saw do I need then? And then that's when ChatGPT looked at me and said, well, listen, you played yourself because it turns out that what you need is a contractor grade wet saw, and those cost anywhere from $800 to $1,000. Then I had the idea to once again go on Facebook Marketplace. Honestly, this is something that I've been stewing about a little bit since it happened. I want your guys' opinion, basically. I want to know if this is something that like legitimately is kind of screwed up, or if this is just sort of like the cost of doing business. I forgot to mention that this is alkali resistant fiberglass mesh tape. This is not normal like drywall tape. Apparently you need specialty tape that stuff doesn't erode, which is this. Oh, my thin set's ready. Okay, so basically I found this saw and it was gonna take me about an hour's drive to go and pick it up. And I told the lady I was interested, I was going to purchase it. We had had a whole conversation, right? So she was like, here's the address. I was like, oh great, I will be there tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. to pick it up. She was like, amazing, I'll see you then. So then the next day, as I'm like about to leave, I get a message from her that says, hey, sorry, someone else that I was talking to just came by like without warning and like just bought it. And I was like, that is where I want your guys' opinions, because I genuinely want to know, is that just the cost of doing business? Or is it screwed up that she sold it to someone else when we had like a time and a place to meet and I had the address and she knew that I was driving a long distance? That's what I want to know. Oh, by the way, I'm just taking my thin set here and I'm just pushing it through the mesh to create a bond between the joints here. Like I'm just pressing it in. So it becomes basically one large piece of concrete, if that makes sense. I just realized I totally forgot. I want to secure this drywall here to more to the stud to try and prevent any sort of cracking from happening. All right, I think I'm most of the way done sealing this, but I did run out of mortar. I'm realizing I should have added water first before I added the powder. I knew I was supposed to do that, but I forgot for some reason. So I'm just gonna clean this out and make some more then. I don't know that I need that much water. I'm also primarily just taking this and just trying to cover up the screws. I don't know if that's necessary, but I'm gonna do it anyways. I think that looks pretty good so far. So now it basically just has to rest for 24 hours, fully cure, and then I can start bricking. But in the meantime, while this is drying, I need to start cutting bricks. Okay, so you remember how I told you guys that I didn't end up getting that one, mosquito. Okay, I didn't end up getting that one saw because the lady ended up sort of flaking. Well, obviously, the second that that happened, my ass immediately got back on Facebook Marketplace to see if I couldn't find anything. And I almost instantly came across the exact same saw being sold by someone else. That's spilling water everywhere. I contacted the guy and he responded almost immediately. So long story short, he ended up selling me this very large contractor grade wet saw. And it honestly, it's kind of a beast. But that's exactly what I need to cut bricks. So anyways, I'm gonna use this now. Okay, so now that Tim changed the blade, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but like I helped. I handed him that blade, presented it, if you will, so nicely. Anyways, I'm gonna try and turn on the pump now. Oh, she's on and running. We're in business. So it would appear as though Tim has clogged the thing.
Like it's coming out of the back, but right there. Aha! Now
We're in business.
coming out of both.
Tim.
Yeah.
I don't get this. There's like, there's... You just let me stick that on there? You just
Yeah.
watched me?
Yep.
Okay, so I have some of my bricks here. I've only cut a couple of them just because I wanted to make sure that this was the right sort of depth for it.
Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it that way? Or are you gonna do it like you're cutting them in half like hamburger ways? Are you gonna do it that way or like hot dog ways?
What are you talking about?
You know how like when you lay brick on a like if you're gonna build a thing, you lay them flat.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, no, I know. What you're
Yeah,
talking
you know what I
about.
mean. So are you gonna do it like cut them in half that way, or are you gonna do it like that? Does that make any sense?
Wait,
'Cause,
because
like, if
you're
this was, like,
saying I'm not lying them down.
You know what I mean? Because
Oh.
if this was a built fireplace, wouldn't they be like that?
Okay, well, you know what? I think you might be right about that.
I mean, you don't have to. It's
well,
just
yeah, but like now that you point it out, I can't unsee it.
I didn't mean to screw you up. I just was curious. I was asking.
Yeah, but now that I look at it, I'm like, this looks comically large.
I mean, you could do it that way. It's just
It looks fucking stupid now because you called it out.
I'm just asking.
It's all right. I gotta change the blade. Anyways, the one with the teeth isn't working.
Oh.
Do you mind? Could you change that for me, like real quick?
What?
Could
Change
you
what?
change? Could you change the blade?
Change what?
Okay, so I ended up having a bit of a problem with this brand new blade that I put on, and the reason for that is because even though it is a diamond blade and it does say for wet or for dry, and the internet said that this would be a good blade to use, but apparently the internet is a ass liar. Turns out I can't use this one, and I found that out because while it was grinding through the brick, it was like the teeth were catching on certain parts of the brick. So you can see in here where there's bits of sediment and things like that. It would snag onto it and it would start to chew and like pull the brick into the machine, which then I had to stop because if the brick is slipping out of my hands and going into the machine, then that's dangerous. So anyways, I ended up getting this Bauer continuous diamond blade, and this one on Harbor Freight's website said that it should work. So hopefully it does.
So Rose is getting ready to cut brick, and I don't think she's figured out that Kirby is under the saw. How long till she realizes that she's gonna get the dog soaked?
I didn't know he was here. Kirby, is that what you were recording?
Yeah. Hi, sweetie.
Why didn't you tell me he snuck back out?
Hi, because I didn't notice till you closed the door. Hi, buddy. Did you get a little?
Just let him get hearing damage.
No, I was like, I saw you out there getting ready to cut brick, and then I noticed the furry butt over there, and I was like, I wonder how long it's gonna take these two before they both come to the conclusion that this is a bad idea.
Okay, Tim. Tim, I need your opinion on this, actually. These bricks were now cut, what did you say, hot dog style?
Like hot dog and hamburger style?
Yeah.
Didn't you learn that in elementary school?
Yeah, when you'd fold a piece of paper, I would.
Yeah.
Maggie, could you move? I don't want to drop a brick on you on accident. Okay, so these ones,
Right?
more like that.
I mean, there's gonna be, don't you have to put the gap between
Yeah,
them?
of course there's gonna, Reggie, you're making me nervous, kid. You got it. My child, you have to move. What do you guys think?
Is that better? Do you think that's better?
Listen, I mean, I think it's better.
Then that's what you should do.
But one of the things that I am realizing I'm kind of upset about is that I am not actually going to be able to brick this week. And the reasoning for that is because I did not know this, but apparently the bricks have to be completely dry before I can add mortar and stick them on, because otherwise the water from the brick will go into the mortar and it doesn't create like a proper seal. So it will basically just slide or fall off of the wall. So because that needs 48 hours to dry, and today is Saturday,
Tune in next week.
yeah, I'm gonna have to do this Monday. I don't know, I still think it looks really good though.
I think it does too.
Okay, Reggie, that's, all right, well, I think it looks good.
Even though this project so far hasn't gone to plan, I'm still very excited and making strides. After all, I did manage to cut about 80 bricks, which means that tomorrow I get to start slapping them around the fireplace and it will start to actually look like how it's supposed to. If you're interested in videos like the one you're watching now, then this video here might be worth a watch.